right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at ICEMORR. As per usual, just need to wait a couple of seconds to make sure our microphone is working properly. Give us 1 minute. All right, yeah, perfect. So we are good to go. Thank you to all of our viewers, and welcome back to ICEMORR. As per our previous couple of videos, we have been delving into some personal and private roleplay time, allowing our players to kind of get their feet wet again in preparation for today's session. Again, I want to apologize for all of the gap and break in time. Life is a cruel mistress and tends to keep us away from the camera. So we have with us this morning Balam, aka Hunter, Warden of ICEMORR, and I do believe we have lots to get into with you today. And he has not watched any of the videos from the other players, so he's in for a treat, that's for sure. So, how are you doing this morning?
Good, I just dropped a die.
Well, starting the day off with a bang, I see.
Hey, at least it was a roll of 4.
On a D4?
Yeah, D8.
On a D8.
So it's average.
Average, alright. You'd be dropping caltrops over there for us to step on.
You're on to my plan.
Alright, so as I had explained to the rest of the people, that upon your return to ICEMORR, you notice that it's not even the same place that you left, and it's almost mind-boggling exactly how much has changed in such a short time. Granted, you guys were gone for a few months and whatnot, but this is years of change, so kind of catches you off guard a little. And you do notice the Warforged walking around, and moving around the city, just kind of getting your feel for things. You definitely notice the teleportation circle, the big pad that's set up in the Mage District. It's basically like a subway. People are coming and going, and it's very, very confusing to you.
Wow, we have a Mage District now.
Yep. The airship that brought the Naval and the Prince in are still at the dock. So unfortunately, the other players had the ability to kind of dictate what it was they were going to start off with. Mm-hmm. But you, being the Warden, are going to be pulled into a conflict pretty straight away. So while you're wandering around the city, you are approached by your Justicar. And she tells you, I need you to come with me back to the Warden's Manor. Shit's kind of out of control. You got a lot of things you need to help me deal with.
Alright. Let's go.
So you make your way back to the Warden's Manor. And you notice that there is literally a line of people there to see you that stretches about 12 city blocks.
Let's take the back entrance.
So you have guards with you, and as you approach the manor, a few guards, a few of the people in line break line and try to come at you to talk to you. And from the sky, you didn't even notice they were there. You just see 6 suits of armor drop in front of you in a line, like almost Iron Man style. We have no affiliation with Marvel. but they just kind of land in front of you, and you hear them all say in unison, "Halt, stand back. Halt, stand back." And they hold the people back. And the Justicar goes, "Yeah."
What are those?
Those are... I've been working with a special unit of Naval that have created for me, in addition to the Warforged that you guys brought, I had something similar made, but less free thinking.
Are we talking animated armor or
kind of
more horror helmed?
More animated armor.
Oh, okay.
And they have a very strict procedure and protocol based on how I had them programmed. And they're all attuned to my mind, so they know what I'm thinking. So they knew that I felt uncomfortable, so they came. There's 12 of them.
So does that mean you're a hive mind now?
They don't really have their own thoughts. They just hear what I'm thinking. So you make your way into the back entrance, and when you get into the back entrance, you pass the main corridor that leads into your waiting area. And you glance in there.
I look in the meeting room. Is that door still there?
Yes, it is.
God damn it.
As you glance down into the waiting room, you see the whole waiting room is full. There's 6 guards in there, the actual city guard, and there's a secretary taking people's information. And you notice one of the people that is sitting there waiting for you is the Crown Prince.
Is he first in line, or is he
He
second
actually
or
is
third?
not.
What's it? How many people? There's 6. No, you said
In the
6
waiting
guards, right?
There's 6 guards. In the waiting room, there's 15 people.
What's his queue up?
The Justicar will walk over to the secretary and ask, and come back and tell you he's 15.
No. He's got to stay at 15. There's protocol. He does not get to jump the line.
So you make your way into your office where you're going to be holding most of your meetings.
Mm-hmm.
The Justicar will pour you a drink, get you comfortable, get you situated, clear your desk for you, put some blank paper, some sealing wax, some quills, some containers of ink, basically get you ready for business. Mm-hmm. And she'll put a tome off to your left. It is the ledger of all of the people who are coming in. And you notice as the secretary is filling it in, it's appearing on your ledger as well. So you know what's coming.
So I know how to address these people.
Yes. It'll say their name, why they're here, and what kind of resolution they're looking for. Mm-hmm. And they're all being charged a fee of 1 gold to see you.
Oh, dang.
The reason why they're being charged 1 gold to see you is because you right now are considered a business, so your time is valuable. But anyway, the first thing that's brought into your office is through teleportation, because they're not going to bring this through the walkway and not through the waiting room. You see 4 city guards and Jacob appear with a naval captain in chains appear in front of you in the main part of your room, and they walk him over, unshackle him, and he sits down in the chair. He looks extremely tired and very upset at the same time, if you could imagine that. And the guards will position themselves around the room, and Jacob will stand by the door.
I look at the ledger. Who is this person?
It is the captain of the prince's vessel. He was arrested for slavery, which is illegal in the Empire.
But this isn't the Supreme Commander.
Yes, it is.
Wait, it is?
Jacob had him arrested.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things that happened on camera. That
Who got him arrested?
Well, when Sonny was leaving, Sonny actually did what he said he was going to do. He removed himself from the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He walked away. He was leaving, and he noticed as they were offloading all of these slaves from the Feywilds, they were all chained together, and he was just watching them come out in a steady line. And he noticed out of the corner of his eye, Jacob was standing over there, and Jacob saw it, and Jacob was livid. So he went over there and cast Disintegrate on all of the chains and freed all of them, and told the guards to take them to a warehouse, get them fed, and all that other stuff. Sonny did also give the same orders to some guards. That's why they were being pulled off the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But when Jacob noticed it and he asked the guards why they were being pulled off the boat and where they came from, he then had the guards arrest the Supreme Commander for breaking Imperial law. So, he's now in front of you being charged with 2,285 counts of slavery.
Don't forget kidnapping.
It kind of falls under the purview. I mean, technically, it would be slavery, kidnapping, abuse, trauma. I mean, so many other things. Anyway, the Justicar says, Warden, you have before you the Supreme Commander of the Navajo and personal guest of the Crown Prince. She kind of looks at you. So it's kind of a very awkward situation. He's a guest of the Crown Prince. He said he was bringing them because they asked him to, but at the same time he broke the law 2,285 times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you do?
One moment. I actually had a law drafted up for this and what the punishment is. I just need to find it in my countless sheets of paper. No. Ah, here it is. Government. Alright. So, looking at my punishment list, and this is per person. It's either 60 days of imprisonment and or a 1,000 GP fine.
It's a lot of money.
Yes. Or he could spend probably the rest of his life in jail.
60 days times 2,000. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. We will, because he is of a high status, we won't imprison him, but we will put the fine on him.
So you're going to put the fullest extent of the law on him,
Yes.
but for the fine.
But for the fine. So we're, because it's and or. So it means he could get both, but we're only going to do the fine. Because that's fair.
So the Justicar looks at the Supreme Commander of the Navajo and says, do you understand the Warden's decree and judgment? The Supreme Commander looks livid. And he says, yes, I understand. I can't pay that much. And then the Justicar, without even batting an eyelash, says, then we'll seize your ship. We'll make sure you get home, but the ship will become ICEMORR property. And he just kind of leans in and holds his forehead. Okay. Can I go?
I will motion for the Justicar to release him.
The Justicar will walk over. She will grab the neck collar.
We need someone to officiate the signing over of legal right.
She says that she'll have the guards take him to the secretary and she'll do it.
Thank you.
So she has the 2 guards escort him out to the lobby, back to the secretary, and the door closes, and Jacob looks at you and goes, I'm going to go back to the Mage District. If you need me, call.
See what other supplies are on that ship and divvy them out fairly amongst the people that were brought against their will, but take about 10% for the town's resources as a levy.
I'll see to it. So he will disappear. And about 5 minutes will go by while you're finishing writing your notes on the case file.
Yep.
You'll see the ledger kind of flash like something's changing. And you'll see that the paperwork has been completed for the transference of the Ridden Hammer. You might want to write that. The Ridden Hammer.
The Ridden Hammer.
It's called. That's what he had it named.
I don't have a note card. I also need a pencil. Give me 1 second.
There's no cards right there too. So the Ridden Hammer is a Class 3 airship.
Like ridden as in riding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ridden Hammer. HIMMER. As you are reading the paperwork that was signed, you also notice that the... here, let me do some quick math. You said it was 1,000 per...
1,000 GP per person. And there were 2,000 people? Roughly?
Yeah, that's 2.285 million. Yeah, he didn't have that kind of capital on him. But they were able to secure 150,000 gold, so you can write that down.
150,000 gold?
Yeah, because the airship's worth 2 million.
Okay.
So he's not even really completed in fulfilling his debt obligation. But out of game, there is some things on board that will finish it off. So, a copy of the documents appear on your desk right beside the ledger. And the next one that is up to come in is Amber. She's been here since 5 o'clock this morning, the note says.
Trying to think. No, I do not know who this person is.
You know she's a trainer
Mm-hmm.
that you can go to for training,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't believe you know
Don't
her.
know that one of my teammates is currently seeing her.
So, as you make your way, as she makes her way in, you hear one of the guards knock at your door.
Come in.
Door opens. You see Amber walk in. She sits down at the chair across from you. There's only 2 guards in here, 2 at the door, and there's 2 outside the door.
Good day.
Good morning, Warden, she says.
What can I do for you, Amber?
So, real quickly, on the ledger, it says that she's here to request permission to open a college.
So I see you want to open a college. Might I ask what type?
Yes, I want to open a universal college that will train... I can train people to do one thing really well, and they can train people specifically for that one thing, so that I don't have such a long waiting list, and people can, go to the specific person they want to see. Also, it would open the door for education for all ages. And I'd be willing to pay for it myself, the construction. And I would train the faculty myself.
Have you put together a list of potential faculty?
I have. She'll hand you a piece of paper.
I'll take a look at it.
They are all guild members currently from the mainland. And she says, I've already had correspondence with most of them. They are open to the idea. A couple of them want ridiculous salaries, but if it gets the college off the ground, then I'm willing to pay for it, at least for a few years anyway.
I think this is something that I can sign off on without loss of conscience.
She says I would appreciate it. What would be required by ICEMORR?
By required, does she mean
Taxes, fees, percentage of their income. What is it that you would be looking for? Do you want a copy of their ledger to keep track of who got what training?
that would be useful? I'll do this. I will a ledger to keep track of the training, a land tax, obviously, and then the ability to send agents when we need to receive training at a significantly reduced rate.
She says that seems fair.
So pretty much they're able to do their stuff, their training without making any loss. The only taxes they have to pay are land tax for the placement of the building.
Which every business is doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so she kind of smiles and she says that is very much amicable. Amicable. English.
It's a bastardization of like multiple different languages. But yeah, so I think that works because then that gives us the government the ability to get people trained at a really good rate.
She says, and then I have a private matter that's off the books that I would like to talk to you about.
All right.
I would like to begin the paperwork to the marriage paperwork.
Oh?
Yes.
For
Me and Nocturne.
blue skin tiefling?
Yes. Member of your group.
Interesting. I was not aware he was seeing anyone.
He may be the life of the party, but he's very good at keeping his personal life personal.
Yes. That would be something easy to do. Yes, we could get paperwork drafted up. My secretary would be able to handle that. If you need a service, you'll definitely have to speak with one of the religious figures.
Of course. So, for all of our viewers, couple things. Make sure you like the video if you're enjoying the content. Hit the subscribe button and show us some love and leave a comment or something. Leave a question for Balam or one of the other players. You know, we'll get to it as soon as we can. So at that point, she will excuse herself and she will thank you for your time.
I'll actually get up from my desk and walk her to the door.
To show respect.
To show respect, and also because she's the girlfriend, fiance. I don't currently know, because they could have skipped fiance to just go from girlfriend, boyfriend to husband, wife. But I like Nocturne. Nocturne I consider a friend, so I will be courteous and show her the door.
She smiles and she says thank you.
Yes.
And she will...
We will definitely have to get tea at some time.
She says, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
And she will head out, and when you head back to your desk,
Mm-hmm.
you notice the next person to come in. It's a land dispute. It's nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with it pretty quickly. Then there's a couple other small squabbles. It's very obvious what the answer is, so you deal with them accordingly. And then we get to the 15th person, and that is the
Prince.
The prince. So the door opens, and the prince walks in. I'd like to know what your reaction is. My, how the tables have turned.
I forget, what is the prince's name again? Hunter actually forgot. I had it in my notes.
It's in Discord.
I have so many notes, though.
The easiest... That's one of the reasons why I put all of the NPC pictures on Discord.
Yeah, I should have brought it up earlier. I forgot. I just kind of thought there were... I partially forgot he was number 15. I also thought we were probably going to do a few more of the people before him, but I guess not.
No.
But it's fine.
I don't see the... I don't see the need.
Let's see. He is an NPC. Where is the NPC? Is he the first of... Yeah, he's like the first, isn't he?
He's the very first one in NPCs.
Alright, I just gotta... There we go. Angelar Quinvelros?
Yep.
Okay. So... gonna have a little fun with this. As he walks in, I make myself look like I'm writing something important, even though I'm not.
Okay.
And then I see him come in, and I go, and I look at the ledger just to pretend. Crown Prince Angelar Quinvelros, correct?
He'll kind of...
Does he crack a smile?
He kind of lets out an awkward smile. I was like, yes, Warden.
Please have a seat.
He'll sit down. The guards leave the room.
Yes. So, what can I do for you?
So first thing, I'd like to personally congratulate you on all of the efforts you've made. You and your team have surpassed my expectations. I was not able to make it here first thing this morning. The Supreme Commander.
Yes.
I'm sure you've already passed judgment and sentencing for that.
Correct.
May I ask what it was?
Well, the punishment for kidnapping, we don't technically have a law myself that I had drafted up regarding slavery. So kidnapping is what I had to go off of. The punishment is 60 days and or a 1,000 GP fine for
Each count.
each count. And
he kind of recoils from the...
however, since he is in a position of high authority, I figured it prudent to make him pay the fee instead of the time.
He lets out a sigh of relief and sits back in the chair. And he goes, "Oh, thank God."
Yes.
Had you implied imperial law on him and judged him based on imperial law, we would be at war right now.
Well, I took that into consideration when I passed my judgment.
He says, "Are you aware of what the imperial law dictates for slavery?"
Is it death?
The first count of slavery is 6 months imprisonment and a 10,000 gold fine. The second count is double that. The third count is death.
So he technically got off very light with me.
Yes. That's probably why he didn't fight you on it. I'm assuming he didn't say anything rude.
No, he didn't. He looked very upset, however.
How did he pay for...
Oh, we took his ship as collateral.
He goes, "Oh, no." He says that he's going to come back for that ship. He's going to want to buy it back from you. That's his great-great-grandfather's ship.
If he wants to buy it back, he can spend the money necessary.
You are a very just warden. I do believe he will see the wisdom in your judgment and will not pursue any further conflict.
Well, if he tried to, I'm sure the Naval have certain laws that we could take to their courts, and I doubt he would want to be made a fool of in his own homeland.
They do. I have a personal favor to ask.
Oh?
May I take credit for your leniency?
May I ask why?
The Empire is currently trying to leverage with the Naval to order a fleet of airships for our Air Force. They won't sell to us. But a favor of this magnitude could push us over the threshold and allow us to purchase a fleet of airships, which would make my father incredibly happy.
How many in the fleet do you plan to purchase?
1,000. They would be obviously spread out throughout the entire empire, but some will be sold off to private businesses that can afford it, some to private citizens that have already put in a bid, and the majority would obviously be for the Imperial Air Force.
I can say that it was because of you. However, I want a number of the ships for ICEMORR.
What were you thinking?
We're a fairly small settlement, so we don't need a large number. 10?
5.
7.
Deal. He'll stand up and shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand.
If that's all, Warden.
Unless there's anything else you would like to bring up to me?
Nope.
No? Well, I thank you for coming. Let me show you the door.
You walk him to the door.
Mm-hmm.
The door opens.
It's good seeing you again.
It's good seeing you as well, Warden. He will head out.
Do stick around. See one of Nocturne's shows if you get the chance.
I heard about those.
Yes.
It's a shame he hasn't been able to do more of them lately.
Well, we've been busy.
Yeah. So, he will head out, and you'll have an hour break.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to have to wait while you go on your lunch at this point.
I try to sneak out to have my lunch someplace quiet and peaceful.
So do you want to go to your meeting room? or you want to go to your private manor? Where is it you'd like to go? Because the guards can get you there. It's just a matter of knowing where you want to go. If you really want to be sneaky, you can summon Jacob, and he can teleport you there.
Where do I want to go? Yeah, I'll go back to my
Your personal manor?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guards will escort you out back and across the street to your personal manor. No one really notices.
Mm-hmm. It's fairly close anyway.
Yep. You walk in, and it's also kept secret that that's your personal estate.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows that other than the guards and your team.
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way in there, and a couple of your butler greets you, takes your cloak, and helps you remove your shoes. They usher you into the parlor and ask you what you'd like.
Brandy on the rocks.
He'll pour you a brandy on the rocks. He'll shake it, get it really cold, pour the ice out, put fresh ice in, pour it in, hand it to you. It's ice cold.
I will take a drink, and I'm sitting in a comfortable leather lounge chair and just go, people. I love them, but I don't like dealing with people that much.
That's true. Very true. Very true indeed. He says, I'll have some food prepared for you, sir.
Thanks.
And he'll head out. He'll close the sliding doors so you're by yourself in the parlor now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fire crackling.
I'll wait a little bit, and then I will, I'll go and look for my wife. It's been a while.
Huh?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let me see if she is not in the house.
Oh, that's sad. Oh well. Then I'll just relax and decompress a bit before I have to go back and fill out countless paperwork.
She is shopping. So, you make your way back to the parlor, and when you arrive there, you see that there is a full spread 2-course meal that's set out for you. You know, an appetizer and a main meal. Pretty hearty steak, some vegetables. Appetizer would be a nice fresh garden salad, and there's a nice glass of wine and a cup of ice water.
I will save the wine for later. The brandy was good enough for now, but I will drink the water.
The butler, when he notices you're not touching it, he'll pour it back into the decanter and
waste not, want not.
Pour it back into the wine bottle and cork it up. While you are eating, you hear a knock at your door. The butler goes, "Excuse me, sir," and he will walk away, close the door. You'll hear the door open. "May I help you?" And then you hear a very high-pitched female voice say, "Hi, yeah, I'm here to see the warden. Yeah. I'm sorry, but this is the warden's private estate. If you have business, you need to report to his office. I do believe they have a queue going this morning. Have a good evening." And you'll hear the door close.
Let them in.
You hear the butler sigh. Walks back over to the door, opens it. "On second thought, the warden will see you." The door opens, and you'll see... The only way I can describe it is a 4-foot tall pixie. That's basically what she looks like.
Interesting. Faye. Hello?
She
How
says,
can I help you?
well, me and the rest of the ones that were brought here, we found out that you arrested the man responsible.
Yes?
Yeah. He doesn't know this, but most of us played along because we didn't want anyone to know that it didn't have any effect on us, but he tried to brainwash us all into, like, he didn't... He wanted us to go along with the story that he brought us here because we wanted to be here. We didn't. He took us against us, our will.
Yes, I was able to divine that.
Oh, okay. I just wanted you to know before you did his sentencing. Also, I heard that your friend is the Crown Prince of the Summer Court.
Higher than that.
Oh, wait. He's the king now?
Aye.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've been in their homeland.
Mm-hmm. Quite some time, I guess.
For like a year or something. That's what it feels like, anyway.
That would track.
Well, wow. If he's the king, then he can deal with it too. He can sanction the kingdom, the Naval kingdom.
He could. However, we're currently trying to work at something at the moment, and we don't want to rock the ship too much.
All of a sudden, while you're talking to her, you see her look off to the right, and she looks up like she's looking at something, and her eyes kind of gloss over.
I look.
You don't see anything, but she's staring at it for a couple of minutes. Like, you can't break her out of it. She seems to be looking at something that's magically showing her something.
Jacob.
Jacob appears.
What is she looking at?
He goes like this with his fingers across his eyes. Oh.
What is it?
It's the council of the Fey Queens of all the courts.
Oh.
They're doing a Fey-wide broadcast of a major event that's happened.
Is it their imprisonment?
No. Apparently the king of the Summer Court has returned an artifact of great power to the kingdom of Dran, and as a reward has secured an alliance between the Empire of Dran and all of the courts.
Former king of the Summer Court?
No.
Or Sonny?
Sonny. Because there is an image of him now where they're giving him praise. And they're saying as his first act as king, it's quite an astounding one. And at that point, he'll disappear. And you see her look back at you. Oh, I'm sorry. The queens were talking to all of us.
No, I am fully aware.
You can see, you're Fae too?
No, I'm not.
You must have magic eyes.
I have a wizard.
Oh. He has magic eyes.
Yes.
Ah. Yes, so King Sonny did a really awesome thing. He made us all proud.
I'm aware. I wonder what he gave them.
I mean, I can ask the queen.
That's fine. I can ask
You gonna ask Sunny?
I can ask him myself.
You're his friend, though. She'll walk over to you and she'll kneel. She'll bow her head.
Oh, you don't need to do that.
You're a personal friend of the king. You're a very important person. You know, the Fae will look to you for guidance. All of Sunny's friends are now important. Famous in the Feywilds, you guys are. Balam's very uncomfortable.
Mentally, he's thinking, oh no, not more responsibility.
So, she says, well, I won't bother you anymore. I'm going to go back. They're being really nice to us.
Yes.
They gave us brand new clothes. I haven't put mine on yet. I want to take a bath first.
Yes. Can you do me a favor?
Of course, sir.
Don't let anyone know you were here, please.
You have my word.
Thank you.
She leaves.
Wait. She crossed her fingers.
Yes, she did. Right as you could see it.
I like my privacy.
You'll hear her yell back to you. Okay, I won't tell anyone.
I'm still thinking she probably crossed her fingers or her toes or something.
I love how she did it right in front of you and you didn't catch it right away.
I saw you go like this, but I thought you were doing like the Boy Scout thing, you know? But my mind registered after your hand went down that, wait, weren't his fingers crossed?
So, you finish your lunch and head back to the office. And at that point in time, the next person that's up to see you on an official capacity is the Justicar.
Interesting. Was she waiting in line?
She what? Well, she was doing her job while she was waiting. But she was in queue.
That's it. Oh, did she have basically someone reserve her queue?
Yes. One of the guards sat in her place.
Okay. That works.
So, she walks in and she'll kind of nod and salute. Sir?
Hello?
She says, I had a personal death in the family happen a couple of days ago. I would like to request a few days of vacation to go and deal with personal events.
Is this back in the Empire, or?
Yes, I would have to take teleportation home.
How does that work now?
Teleportation?
Yes.
Oh.
Didn't work before.
No.
What changed?
So, there's a couple theories going around, but we're not 100% sure exactly what made the teleportation pad.
Wait, did it just show up?
Yes. The scholarly community, the magic community, and religious community have been debating this for a few months. And the strongest the strongest explanation they have for it at the moment that holds the most weight is they know that Nocturne has the orb of magic, and the goddess of magic is expecting for it to be returned, and as
compensation,
prepayment, has bestowed a gift upon ICEMORR. That's the closest thing we have to an explanation, but no one's really sure. It just appeared, and it works really well without flaw. You stand on the teleportation circle, and you tell it where you want to go, and you go. There's no mishap. You don't go anywhere weird. You can actually go places you've never been before. As a matter of fact, we have regular shipments coming from the Naval home city.
Yes. You can take some time off. Obviously, if something drastic happens, we might need to call you back.
Of course. Well, I'm only going to be going for the funeral. I don't need to deal with any family affairs or anything. But
yes, take your time, be with your loved ones.
she will salute you again. She says, I appreciate it, sir. She says, I will miss my time away and I will hurriedly return.
Not too quickly, I hope, though.
I will take my time to mourn, but she will see herself out because she knows you're busy. Around this time, the next person that you have on the queue to come in is interrupted by a guard who walks in to tell you something. Like, the person is getting ready to come in the room, and a guard says, excuse me for 1 minute, please wait in the hallway, I have to tell the warden something. And then the door closes as the guard comes in, he walks over to you and whispers in your ear. He says the following. There has been a very significant religious event. All of the clerics, priests, and paladins are gathering outside of Nocturne's house. Apparently, they could feel the presence of multiple deities in his house. Not really sure what that's about, but it's drawing a lot of attention. And as you know, the religious community has a very strong impact on ICEMORR right now. They are demanding answers. You should probably address this. You do have, out of game, you do have religious people on staff.
I do.
Shayna Ventum, the knowledge cleric of Arnell.
Yep.
You could delegate her to deal with it.
Yeah, I'll call in Shayna.
So about 3 minutes goes by, and you'll see her walk in, and she'll kind of go like this. Warden.
Hello, Shayna. I'm sure you've heard about something going on at Nocturne's house.
Of course I have.
Please go see what's happening for me, please.
As an official representative of ICEMORR,
Yes.
I will do so.
Alright, I will let her go.
She leaves very quickly.
Julian.
Julian will come in. Yes, sir?
You know what's happening at Nocturne's house, I'm fairly certain, correct?
Of course I do.
Find out what's actually going on, please.
Nod. And heads out.
Oh, it's nice to have a really powerful rogue.
So, as you go back to your business, the rest of all of your meetings are almost boring to the point where you want to chew your fingernails off. They're just...
Yes.
Why can't my secretary
Very
deal with this?
interesting.
Yes, exactly. So with these things, with you being busy with meetings, you've delegated a lot of stuff to other people to have them deal with things out and about in the city. The next thing that happens is, I'm going to warn you before it happens that if you succeed at this, it will be game-changing for ICEMORR and for the future eras of Anarria. but it's going to be difficult, and you're going to have to actually make rolls to secure this. But your next meeting is with a representative of Primordia.
Interesting.
The door opens, and you'll see a human walk in. This human is wearing a robe that is broken up into multiple different sections that is made out of multiple different elements. We're talking smoke, fire, water, lightning, thunder. Looking at his cloak will very quickly distract you and draw you into almost a form of meditation and hypnosis, because there's so much going on and it's always moving and changing. Mm-hmm. He will walk in and he goes like this, and
etiquette, history.
I'll give you a history.
16?
Same thing. He will smile, and he starts speaking in a language you don't understand.
Is it primordial?
Yes, it is.
I do speak primordial.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you spoke that.
I looked at my sheet and I'm like, do I have it? Yes, I do.
Well done. He speaks to you in primordial, and he says, "Greetings to you, Warden, from a nation of 1,000 elements."
What's this man's name?
He hasn't given it to you yet.
It's not in the thing? Ledger? Ooh.
It says, "Dignitary from Primordia." Out of game, remember, Primordians are very big on names, even more so than Fae. He probably won't give you his name.
I welcome you, illustrious dignitary from the land of the elements.
And you say this
in primordial.
He kind of recoils in surprise that you, and then you see a slight smirk, on his face, he's pleasantly surprised that you can speak his language. Mm-hmm. And he motions to the chair for permission to sit down.
Oh, please.
He'll sit down. You see the two guards at the door kind of looking at each other, and then just to leave. Mm-hmm. They will leave the room. He sees you do that and looks behind to see them leaving. Looks at you and says, "The warden feels comfortable in the presence of the emissary of elements, I see."
The elements are integral to our survival. Your people are more in tune with it than anyone else. It would be a good showing of faith to just meet with you by myself.
Very well. I come before you as the voice and diplomat of our current lord. Out of game, that's spelled L-O-R-R. It is their equivalent to king. Mm-hmm. And he says, "The lore is curious to know what it is that ICEMORR would require or request in order to open trade negotiations with our people." Before you answer that, giving you a few seconds to think, I just wanted to give a shout out to our currently only Patreon, Clint, who has been a strong supporter since day one. And I did say that there was special content available for our Patreons. Clint, if at any point in time you want a copy of any of these races, I do have them statted out. I will send them to you. All you got to do is ask. In addition, I have something special I'm going to be sending you later this evening or possibly tomorrow. So look forward to that. Check your email. Back to you.
Aw, my brother's the only Patreon.
Well, we did have a few others, but they've kind of, they messaged me and apologized and said that some stuff come up, and life is rough right now for people, so I get it. But everything we get, or that I get, has been going back into the stream. Game supplies and new cameras and things, and so anyway.
What is the lore hoping to procure from us, if I may ask, from our trade negotiations?
Specifically, iron.
Iron.
Even though our homeland is quite large, we do not have any iron or steel deposits that we can farm. It is the main source of food for a lot of our people. So, real quick, a little history for those of you that are watching that don't know. Primordials, the Primordians in my world, I created about 15 years ago. They are a amalgamation of multiple different elements. Back during the founding of the planet, Anarria came down to the planet because she wanted to personally, with her hands, sculpt things and bring it to life. And when she arrived on the planet, she was not aware of how powerful she was, so she came in her true form. And when she struck the ground, she ripped a hole in time and space and in the fabric of reality, allowing at that location all of the different energies from all of the different planes of existence to seep into this one small area. And because she is the goddess of creation, she left a little bit of her residue there that gave life to that energy. And it created what I call the Primordian pool. And out of the Primordian pool, literally these elementals of massive power emerged out of the pool, and over the last few thousand years have evolved into a society. The base stats for the Primordials are available. They will definitely be in my book once it's complete. But suffice it to say that there is a random chart that's rolled, and you pick between starting two different elements, and those elements give you certain abilities. Like, for example, Earth would give you a bonus to your AC. Fire would give you kind of a fire genasi effect where you can control flame, you can, throw fire at people. If they touch you, you can burn them. Shadow can move through shadow, have advantage on stealth, things like that. So it's definitely customizable, and it allows you a lot of different facets in creating a character. Now, as you level and you hit certain thresholds, you gain an additional element. You master a new element, and that makes you even stronger. Currently, in the first age, the most elements that any Primordian is able to currently hold is 5, and that is the lore right now. He has 5. The closest to him is 3. So, with that being the case, a little bit of information for you guys, but
can I try to make a history check to recall what sort of valuable resource?
You don't even need to roll.
No.
So basic geology, like just through educated people talking about the land of Primordia, know instantly. If you look at the world map, at the very center of the land of Primordia is a massive active volcano.
Mm-hmm.
The number one thing that volcanoes bring to the table is gems. They have gems. They eat them. They don't see value in them. They are earth-made rocks. To the rest of the world, and because people can't just go over there and pick them up and leave with them, they are, the rest of the world is like, oh my god, they're just sitting on a fortune. It is the largest concentration of gems of all kinds in the entirety of the world. Other than that, volcanic glass, sulfur, that's about it. I mean, their land is pretty desolate to most people's standards, but to them it's heaven. So
I think we could open trade negotiations to provide you with rare metals and such for the Primordians. However, I would like to procure rights for ICEMORR to excavate on Primordia to a degree.
for rocks.
Certain gems and...
What is a gem?
I will show him a small gem.
What color gem?
I'll show him a diamond.
He goes, ooh. Those are, not many humans live on Primordia. We have very important jobs usually. So I know that I can't eat that like they can, but they love those ones. Those ones are very good. Especially with the earth-attuned Primordials, they say that that tastes like sugar to them.
Along with a few other things, such as volcanic glass and
we have tons of that,
and brimstone.
What is brimstone?
Sulfur.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, that stuff smells terrible.
Yes, rotten eggs, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yes. I've already discussed the possibility of this being your request with the lore. It's all things that we have no value in, so...
And there's one other thing I would like to request.
And what's that?
A treaty.
A treaty?
Yes.
A treaty that stipulates what?
An alliance. That we won't be enemies.
A military alliance or a defensive alliance?
Out of character, what's the difference?
So there's a few different types of alliances you can have. A defensive alliance would be, let's say ICEMORR is minding its own business and all of a sudden the Naval decide to go to war with you and you were in the right and they just want to take over. Primordial will come to defend, a defensive alliance. They will come to defend you, right? If someone invades Primordia, you would go to defend them. A military alliance is all military decisions are made in unison, as equals. So everyone's at the table. You say, hey, I want to go take over that country, and they're like, okay, we get 50%. We'll go with you. You know, it's you have to leave everyone.
Everyone gets a say.
Yes.
Everyone gets a piece of the pie.
Yes, it's A military alliance is a lot stronger, and it's harder to break. But it's also harder to negotiate.
I was thinking both.
It's a lot you're asking for. So let's start with a defensive. What would be your stipulation?
The do you mind if I bring someone in?
Sure.
All right. I will contact Jacob.
You'll hear him say, "What can I do for you?"
Can you give me the Prince of Zil?
Sure.
As well as our best military commander.
You just sent her on furlough.
After her.
You just sent her on a personal mission.
Never mind then.
He says, "Sorry, I'm just being honest.
It's not your fault.
We don't have a lot of military commanders, sir."
Yeah.
Well, I might need to look into that.
Yeah. But yes, I will basically get the prince summoned.
Okay. So about 5 minutes goes by. You guys are just idle chit-chatting. And the door will open and you'll see the prince walk in.
Ooh, I will offer him some whiskey if he wants it.
He's buzzed already.
Oh.
He's never had it in his life.
Oh shoot!
He's like,
it wasn't even strong.
This is nice. This is very nice. What do you call this? Is it
whiskey?
Whiskey. I get it because it whisks you off to a new place.
Yes.
Fantastic invention. My master might want some of this. No insight required. When he said master, he meant more like master pupil or master as in lord and underling, not master slave.
He's more like a what are they called? They're the like England and European countries.
Yes, that's what he meant by master.
Yeah.
Not slave master. But anyway, so as the prince walks in, you'll see the person look over and go, "Oh, hello. You're very well dressed. You must be someone important because you have one of those metal hats on." And the prince is just like looks at him and then looks at you. He'll walk over and sit down.
Dear representative of Primordia, this is the Prince of Zor.
Oh, you're the empire that the big continent across the water. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know who you guys are. And the prince looks at you.
I look at the prince and I say, "I would like your assistance in negotiating a deal."
What kind of deal?
A defensive and military alliance.
With who?
Primoria.
That's
the representative of Primordia.
He looks very, very confused.
I just kind of tap my head like this.
Yes.
Does he speak to me mentally?
Yep.
I may have made a mistake or a secret blessing in disguise. While we were waiting for you, I offered him just a small glass of whiskey, and he seems to be buzzed.
Fantastic.
This may work in our favor.
It also may unravel everything we do later on if they find out that he was intoxicated while making this deal.
Possibly, yes.
So...
we should tread carefully.
So the prince will begin... I'm not going to roleplay everything that's talked about, but you guys are in debate for...
I brought him in because my character has no experience with military deals like this. I am a explorer, and I have no experience in this. My character needs someone to advise him on this. This is way above his head.
Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. They're talking for about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And about an hour in, you notice he's quickly becoming sober.
Mm-hmm.
And they seem to be kind of on the right footing. They're talking through trade currently first, and then they work their way into commerce, and then they work their way into passengers, people coming to and from their kingdoms. So they're making rules. And then they start going into the defensive side of the alliance. And then they start making their way into the military side. And at that point, things get very serious. And I'm going to have you roll for the prince. The prince has... let me look at his character sheet. Hold on. The prince has a plus 15 to diplomacy.
I'm guessing that's persuasion?
Persuasion, yes.
Okay.
And the representative has... okay. So, we're going to roll off.
Uh-huh.
We're going to do best out of 3. Just so that... because they're going to haggle. That's what's getting ready to happen.
Question. Would I be able to give assistance to the prince? I do have proficiency in persuasion.
Then I will allow you to give... him the assistant.
So, advantage?
Advantage, yes.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna show the camera the number. I think they can see my hand here. Yep. Look down for a second. Okay. Good to go.
Good? Okay. I rolled decent. If I use one of these, do I lose the advantage?
Yes.
That I already have.
You
and I have to take the new roll.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might just stick with it.
What'd you get?
So it's plus 15, right?
Yep.
28.
You got it. It was 21.
Oh, thank God!
Okay, second roll.
I think I got it because my first roll was good. 32.
Yeah. You got me beat.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
I rolled a 23.
Okay.
So, that's best out of 3. So...
okay, sweet.
The prince will open his bag and he'll pull out some documents, and they start filling out documents for an alliance. And you notice the way the prince is writing it is he's writing it as a 3-way alliance.
With
the Empire of Zoram, Primordia, and ICEMORR. So the prince is positioning you to become your own nation at this point, if you choose to. I wouldn't really recommend it because they're giving you a lot of support right now, and you're still kind of in your infancy, but it's possible. But basically what this does is it gives him 2 votes to their 1 for the alliance.
Ooh.
You see how he did that?
Yeah, so because we're kind of allied with him, so basically Prince gets a vote, Primordia gets a vote, I get a vote, but he's assuming we'll kind of vote in favor of the Empire.
Yes. So with that, you guys finish up the documents, and at the conclusion of this, he says that the lore says we will move forward with these arrangements for 1 year. After 1 year of proven behavior, we will come back to the table and discuss further changes. And in addition, after that 1 year, he has an open invite for you and your closest to come to Primordia for a dinner with the lore.
Thank you.
And at that point, he will get up and leave.
I'll escort him out. I'll tell him maybe wander around town, enjoy the sights, maybe get some food. He can send the bill to me.
Okay. One of your guards will walk around with him then, and we'll kind of, give him the diplomat's escort, and we'll comp everything and send the bill to the office.
I will go back over to the office. I will sit down in front of the prince, and I will... Actually, before I sit down, I'll reach out.
He'll stand up. He's grinning like a pig in shit. He is so thrilled right now. You see he has a stone in his left hand as he shakes your hand. He says,
Is that a sending stone?
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell your father?
Mm-hmm.
Is he proud?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your assistance.
You are very welcome.
Military matters are kind of... I have very little experience with.
We have a few retired generals that ICEMORR could definitely benefit from.
As advisors?
As advisors, if you want me to send over their files.
Yes, please.
And you could make them an employment offer.
That would be appreciated.
He stops and he kind of looks at the stone. Uh-huh. Okay. In 5 days' time, the Emperor has summoned you. You and your party are to report to the Imperial Palace in Zoram Prime.
Interesting. Nothing bad, I hope.
No. I don't think you understand what you just did.
Something very good, I assume.
Our northern border
Is secure.
is now secure. That was my entire goal. You have, through your efforts, single-handedly brought multiple different nations to the table, which made me look good, which made my father look good. He will probably want to doubt on you and your men for these efforts. With that being the case, I have been summoned back to Zoram Prime. I will be leaving immediately.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Well, lots of paperwork to do back home.
Oh yes, I'm well aware.
So he will shake your hand again and he will head out. And at that point in time, maybe 15 or 20 minutes later, after he has teleported away, you feel the ground.
Is that a Nick? I'll go over to the window, look out.
You don't see anything.
Is it on the other side?
Don't see anything. And then you hear a massive elephant
an elephant doing here?
Too
cold.
It's for elephant. Like the steps that it's taking. That's like
it's much bigger than a normal elephant.
Yeah, it's kind of making you a little uncomfortable. You hear people screaming and scattering outside.
I will go outside.
You go outside and you see the magical orb dome that's covering ICEMORR that makes it cool, warmer and more safe in here. Is flickering with every step. And
that's not good.
Over to the northeast, where all of the 18-foot tall ferns are, you see them falling over.
I'll head over in that direction.
You'll see this come through and will rear up on its hind legs, will let out a scream or a roar, whatever it is for an elephant to make that high-pitched sound, and will, when its feet comes down, the ground kind of shakes and you see the dome flicker and disappear. And that's where we're going to leave it.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 11:28 Central Standard Time. The side role play with Balam is currently over for now. I do kind of like the aesthetics that this gives. It allows for everyone to kind of get some things done that they want to do and don't want to take an hour and a half, 2 hours at the table, Kind of makes them get that special attention they want. So I think I'm going to continue to do this throughout the week. Maybe not every week, but when it's something important someone wants to do, there's going to be surprise episodes where side role play with this player and this character. So keep your eye open for that. And Hunter, I hope you had a good time.
It's fun. I had so much fun humiliating the Supreme Commander. Oh God, I hate him so much. It was so good.
I'm pretty sure Sonny is on the same page with you on that.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure he wanted more harsher sanctions.
If I could have gotten away with it, I would have. But I did not want to start a war we are not ready for.
No. Going to war with the Navajo right now would be the end of the Empire.
Yeah.
Very easy.
But now that we have Primordia...
Now I don't think the Navajo are going to really try to agitate things. But so we have the ICEMORR episode 9, which I'm really looking forward to, which is going to start off immediately with a massive combat that may take a few hours.
Yes.
After that, it's going to be some role play, downtime for the guys. So we look forward to seeing you guys for that. But for now, we will see you guys at the table for episode 9.